You remember, BJS, how like elder black women would really police,
Yeah.
certain hoish tendencies.
There's no shame in my game. Yeah, it happened. I slept with 63 men. Now that was fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons why in the past I was trying to get BGS's attention
Uh-huh.
to try to provide some historic, you remember, BGS, how like elder black women would really police,
Yeah.
certain hoish tendencies.
Yes.
And I think it was for several reasons.
The entire purpose for patriarchy and the reason why women and children take men's last names is because men need to feel like they are part of the process of creation. The entire purpose of last names is so that men feel a sense of entitlement and purpose in the creation process of lives. Because women know that they created the children. The children come out of women's bodies. They know that it's theirs. Men, not so sure. This is why they have to have a woman marry them, demand monogamy and fidelity so that they can ensure that they are part of the creation process.
One is they knew how disruptive it would be to men and potentially the behavior of men with, loose and whatever in the environment.
Yeah.
But I think they also knew the basic nature of women and that it could start a fire amongst the women.
What's a relationship non-negotiable for you?
Girl, nothing is non-negotiable with me. I don't negotiate. You come in, you tell the truth, you be nice and have a good time, or go the home. Life's too short. I'm 69. I got, 30 summers left? Go yourself. You don't get that? Nobody gets that kind of time from me.
It's like a sort of a latent horror demon that's there, that's like potentially in all of them, or at least they're vulnerable to it, And if you allow it to manifest and allow it to feed, it'll start to spread itself amongst all the other women.
I don't mind being not attached.
Yeah.
I'm okay being not attached because I love lots of people. Lots of my friends. I love them to pieces. Maybe a couple here and there. but not, not that thing that, and I tried to be married several times. I tried to do it. I kept thinking I'm doing this wrong.
And it's kind of what I think we're witnessing here, where that demon is allowed to fester and grow and feed. And now they're it's feeding on each other and it's kind of perpetuating itself amongst them.
Got a white boy on my roster. He be feeding me pasta and lobster.
I want to apologize to all of you for what I did. It was very wrong and I am very sorry. I just would like to move on and lead a normal life.
I, like many of us, was taught to grow up dreaming of my wedding, not of my life. And I spent many years dreaming of my wedding.
Preach to the choir.
And also waiting to be chosen. Well, here's the thing. I'm the chooser. And I can choose to get married if I want to, but in the meantime, I am choicefully single.
What y'all are talking about, okay, don't tell me what she's not. Tell me what she's doing. What is she doing? What he's telling you is what she's not doing that's negative, because the bar has sunk so low
that you have to say what she's not.
We're like, what she's not. Okay, she's not a complete asshole. Okay, she's not completely materialistic.
So with me, I established what I want from the beginning. We're talking or whatever the case may be. We decide to get serious. I let him know you may not live with me and I may not live with you, but you have to be responsible for some type of bill in my household.
All right, she's willing to spend a couple of dollars on a movie ticket or on a meal. So it's the bars, because we're the children of the women that y'all were dating, right? Yeah.
When you don't have a proper bar, you end up with hoes talking about gimme, gimme, gimme.
You ain't gotta be the girl that requires Chanel or Louis, Fendi, Dior. You ain't gotta require that. Michelin star restaurants, but you need to require something. Something needs to be on the table. You are a queen. Your time should not be free.
That's why I said that when I first encountered, and I was, I was a young boomer, okay? I was a young boomer. I was 16 years old, 15, 16, 17 years old, right? I only encountered that kind of talk in a strip club with hoes, with sex workers, okay? Which is much less than 1% of the population.
Nowadays, you gotta have you 4 men lined up. One that's a trick, one that do whatever the fuck you say, one that you love, and one that love you. And know the 4 cannot be the same, because you never know with these men. They'll switch up so motherfucking quick. Have your 4 on deck, sis.
Now you hear this with average 3, 4s, and 5s on TikTok saying the exact same thing that the 1%, the less than 1% hoes said back then.
I don't even cook, girl. Whoever I end up with has to cook. And they have to go to work and pay the bills. Yeah. It's like a lot. But they have to be like happy about it.
The thing they have in common with those sex workers from back in the day is they all either are selling pussy.
Oh, it's my first day at work, back to work. And I'm just going to tell y'all before y'all see an ad or some shit and see something that you don't need to see. So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, I'm selling it. I'm selling it.
Say everything failed, right?
Yeah.
$0 coming in.
I'm selling it. Straight up. It is for sale. And she is available. It has been celibate too for like 2 years, so that thing is...
You know, after seeing how much I got back from taxes, selling my ass might not be so bad.
It's on sale, y'all. It's for sale. I can't do this working shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what y'all say anymore. I'm selling it.
Yes.
Selling the fantasy of pussy.
Yes.
Selling the mythology of pussy. But they all selling pussy. You know, in some way, either virtually or for real.
Even if you don't lay down and sleep with a man, your energy is expensive. Women are like batteries in a man's back. When a man experiences your feminine energy, you give him energy. You give him that, what's the word I'm looking for? You give him life. Your energy is expensive. Stop giving it out for free and calling it whole culture because we require something.
It was in the 1990s when they went from marriage 1.0 to 2.0. In other words, that's when the idea of partners came around, okay? And I was actually arguing with 2 black psychologists talking about this shit. We're going to make this change. So in other words, there are no more sex roles, okay?
No, because why do you have her in the kitchen cooking? You don't think that's weird? You don't think that's weird, bro?
Ain't what's weird about this?
Because she's only 8. She don't need to be in the kitchen learning how to cook.
So women decided back then, amongst millennials and young Gen Xers, okay, all I got to do is offer, because all the other stuff, which is cooking and clean and being nice and all this other kind of performative stuff that my mama did or my grandma did, I don't have to do that shit no more.
Bro, she in here seasoning chicken. How does she? You got her cutting up broccolini.
You don't want your daughter to know how to cook? Don't you know how to cook at a young age? It
doesn't matter. My mom taught me how to cook, not my dad.
I don't need her to depend on nobody when she get grown. She don't need to depend on nobody.
So I just don't want you in here teaching her how to cook.
Well, I didn't marry because I knew that I would not be able to have the life that I had dreamed if I married. I didn't marry because I've been partnered with Stedman since 1785. And he is a wonderful man, but he is also a traditional man who had his own ideas about what being a wife was. And the moment what I realized, and this is what you all to know for yourself, I wanted to feel worthy enough to be asked. And the day he asked me, I started to feel like, oh God, what does it really mean to be married? That's when I started to ask the questions about what that really meant.
I don't blame the guys for thinking that way, because you had 50 years of feminism teaching that in school, okay? It's all being reinforced. I understand why it happens, okay? That's why I don't blame you. I don't blame guys for thinking that way. They've been trained to think that way. What I get mad at is they think that men are supposed to become a different way just because they say by shaming.
First of all, rule number 1, ma'am, stop dating broke men. I don't care whatever his excuse is. Okay, he got a divorce, his wife took all the money, give him a chance to build his life back, and then tell him to come talk to you. Listen, for a woman, you can't grow a baby without him bringing you sperm. You can't cook any dinner without him bringing you the groceries. You can't multiply anything without anybody pouring into you. You can't grow a garden without the seed first being put into the ground, ma'am. Okay? Nothing from nothing equals nothing.
If this man has nothing, you have nothing to give him.
Man, that doesn't work, okay? You allow this stuff to go on for way too long. You train these boys to be a certain way, and when they come out this way, now you're mad at them.
Yeah.
That's really why most of these guys are fucking giving up. You taught me to be a certain way. I went to school to be a certain way, act a certain way. Now y'all don't like it.
What do you mean let me hold $80? Why the hell are you asking me for money?
I can't borrow $80.
No.
I'm not even borrow. I need it. Can you just let me know? $80?
Why are you? I feel so offended that you're asking me for money. Why are you asking me? Are you joking? You gotta be joking.
I feel offended that you can't let me $80. I just need 80.
Get out of here. That's weird. No, I'm not. No.
You're not even asking what I need it for. Or I just can't.
My money? My money?
Guess what? I'm out. Peace and deuces, okay?
It's the
so
major they've done to men the last few generations, because every possible thing they would claim they would want men to be and do, they've done everything possible to sabotage.
To sabotage. And guess what? You get to the end of it, and that's what the end of men and the richer sex. The women don't want that shit. Okay. Now what do?
Should broke people be allowed to date? No. Said no. Why not?
If you're a broke man, you need to focus on yourself before you're getting ready to date somebody. It doesn't hurt to take a woman to a restaurant. How can you do that if you're broke? You need to be worried about yourself, and then you go find a woman when you got some money in your pocket.
I came across this social media post and I couldn't help but be mystified by it. The caption reads, "Enjoying brunch on a rooftop because life didn't end when I spent my car insurance money on hair, lashes, and nails because I'm tired of only paying bills." It wasn't just the video that I found intriguing, it was the wide variety of support for what would be deemed a bad financial choice if a man running a family had decided to put his physical, emotional, and mental well-being in front of paying the car insurance. But the support came pouring in. "I don't care if it's not smart. It's real as F. Working hard but never having money to actually enjoy life is mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausting. Because working to survive is not it. Sometimes you have to live. If you don't, what's the point of living? Even the rich say, pay yourself first. Everyone else can wait. And somehow it still gets paid. God is too good. Realish I've seen on my timeline in months, girl. Enjoy the moment, every last second. Ask for extensions. Pay the bill next paycheck. Because why am I putting myself on the back burner for bills my city gave me? Relatable, babe, because we can die tomorrow and today is yacht day."
60% of your Z's are virgins because they don't want to be bothered with this craziness, okay?
Was it Kobayashi Maru? If I pronounce it correctly?
No win situation. Yeah.
You know how much damage you have to do to a mammalian male, but to not fuck. You know how much damage you have to do.
Yeah, you do.
Look at the animal. Look at the animal kingdom. Eating, fucking, sleeping, and dying.
Yeah.
Those are their only tasks. So when a mammal, I'm not talking about human. When a male mammal starts fucking, that is a part of an instinctual cycle.
Salute to Mr. Z. Quite often during his streams, he gets teased because he wants to save the young ladies, but his heart is in the right place because he sees a future coming up that's very uncomfortable for many young ladies, because it's going to be uncomfortable for many of us as people, men. So many of the amenities that we've grown used to, if they're not there anymore, then it's going to be a very different world. But it almost seems at times that we're living in two separate worlds, because many young ladies want parts of the past that were convenient for them, but they don't want to live up to that 50-50 we're partner thing that we've taught all through school, that anything a boy can do, a girl can do better, that you should treat a woman as an equal. Okay, well, let's date as equals. Let's have equal share of the bills and responsibilities. But my money is my money and your money is our money. So, but that's not a partnership. And so you can see how this short circuiting is happening in the younger generations, where they grew up hearing, I should be egalitarian. I should help. I should do all of these things to supplement a woman's life, because a woman is more than just cooking and cleaning and having children. But when things get down to brass tacks, why aren't you a full provider? Also, why aren't you cooking and cleaning? Also, I have to have the baby, so I should be able to be a stay-at-home wife. And if I make money, I should be able to keep all of my money, but we're equal partners. And it just doesn't really work. It's a measure of sabotage, where guys grew up thinking that, okay, women are going to be equal partners with us when we're dating, in relationships. I'll cook and clean, but she's going to help me pay the bills and she's going to be happy doing it. What many guys have come to realize is that that is not the case at all. And so now you're hearing more and more young ladies say there are no good enough men for me to date, when we were taught that if we treat women like we treat other men as equals, that they're going to be fine with it. And so it's only natural for more and more young guys to say, well, I don't really even know what the roadmap is besides making a whole bunch of money. And if I make a whole bunch of money and something goes wrong, I'm going to be ending up giving a whole bunch of money to someone that didn't earn it. And the cycle just continues. It's unfortunate that whomever were the leaders of society kind of, quote unquote, sabotaged many young men into this kind of corner. But if you're not super tall or super rich or whatever the group of young ladies wants the most, then you have to pay a premium that has nothing to do with partnership or 50-50. And if you're a guy, the question you're asking is it worth it? And what we're starting to see now is that more and more guys are looking around and saying, if it's not worth it here, then I got to either give up or go somewhere where it might be. It's unfortunate, but a generation of young men were sabotaged. They were told bad information, and now the birth rate and maybe even the society is suffering because of it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, catch you next video. Take care, guys.